was like breaking it down for the little countdown here. Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday. We are here on a Sunday. Let me just say, in the 2.5 years that I've done this show, this is my first Sunday. It is my first, well, it's actually technically now my second weekend show. I had a show yesterday, so I'm on it. What's going on, twins? What's going on?
Everything's good over here. Ready to get the show rolling.
Listen,
Sunday.
listen, it's Sunday.
I'm glad I could be your first be on the show with you on your first Sunday.
Right? Look at you helping me pop my cherry. People don't get it excited. We ain't just saying. We are here. Listen, people are showing up because we have an amazing guest. We were chatting with him earlier. The ladies need to hurry up because he's out here giving. He's giving his blue steel look. He's all on it. Okay, so this guest, I think, was probably one of the more popular Kendra G guests. He was also on twice, so we're going to talk about that. He needs actually no introduction, but I will introduce him. His name is Mike Speaks, and I'm going to bring him to the stage. Hey.
Oh, hey, what up?
Welcome,
How
welcome.
are you?
Good. Twins Inc. What's up, man?
All is well. How are you, sir?
I'm good, bro.
That's good. That's good.
The people are coming in. I think the ladies are heard me saying that you're coming on the show, Mike. I think people are coming in because I don't think it's to see me. But please stay for me, people.
They're coming to see you.
Like, do the whole thing. Make sure you're subscribing and sharing the show because it's going to be a good one. Mike's got his chest all out in his silk shirt.
Pleather.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. In his pleather shirt because he's coming out. Okay. And we are here. All right then. Listen. He said, is that a leather or a satin button-up? He said pleather. Listen, you can see the motherfucker. He said it is pleather. Okay,
Where the comments at? Hold on. Where the comments? I can't see
I
them.
will see them. Listen, I'm gonna put them up in a second. Don't you worry.
Oh,
Don't you worry.
Yeah, I wanted to get juicy.
I will put the comments in a second. First of all, thank you, Mike, for Mr. Outside is what I like to call him because he likes to be outside. Thank you for being inside for me tonight on this Sunday.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Tosh.
So, Mike is a former two-time Kendra G guest. Mm-hmm. And I think he was quite popular. And I'm going to quote what some of the comments were calling you, and we're going to talk about that shortly. So, according to the comments, you were a well-spoken and groomed Pookie. That's what they called you. They called you a well-spoken and groomed Pookie. I'm going to play a clip. It's a very short clip. If you want to go out and see his 22-minute conversation with Kendra G, you just
was it that long?
22 minutes. 22 minutes. I brought it down to about 2. And we are going to play the clip, but definitely we're going to see whether or not you are indeed a well-spoken and groomed Pookie. But before we do that, let me introduce the people to you through Kendra G from this clip here and go.
Kendra G, what up, baby?
What up? I think I've seen your name on something.
I was on here. Yeah, I was on here once. Maybe, was it 2 years ago?
Did you meet anybody?
Not really. I mean, I got a lot of DMs. Nothing significant, no.
All right, let's start from the top. Your name is Mike, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where you calling me from, Mike?
Chicago, but I'm from Philly.
How old are you?
38.
38. You look good for 38. I would have thought younger. 38. What you do for a living?
Finance, project manager.
Finance. You have any children?
I do. I was married for 10 years. 4. 2 boys, 2 girls.
You got 4 kids. How old are your children?
12, 11, 8, and almost 4.
Okay. When did you get divorced?
2018. So
are all your kids by your ex-wife?
Oldest 3 and then youngest ex-fiance.
You want more kids?
No, that's the deal breaker. Can we say that loud enough? No more chillings. So I don't mind if a woman has kids, but I don't.
I was gonna say, so perfect for you would be a woman with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, why you say it like that? You don't want any kids, so.
Well, no, I mean, Oh, it could be a woman who doesn't have kids who's not interested in having kids, right? So I mean, what other scenario that could work?
Let me ask you this: is that your ideal scenario? A woman who doesn't have kids that doesn't want kids?
No, my ideal scenario, Kendra, is a woman who has kids and or was married before, because there's certain nuances that they understand, right? So I don't have to tell you I'm putting my kids to sleep. I'm not going to be texting you for the next 20, 30 minutes. Just certain things that you get. So that's the ideal situation. But I'm open.
What I like about that though is that's you. It's
That's
like,
me.
I mean, like your request is a woman, your mirror, which I can respect because a
Yep.
lot of times I get people who don't want themselves, but you want
Yeah.
someone, you want a woman who was once married, so an ex-wife with children.
Yep. Exactly.
Now,
Yep.
let me ask you this: does it matter if she was once married versus a woman with kids but never married? Is there a difference
No,
to
no,
you?
no. The married thing, that's just a plus. I prefer with kids.
There
There
you
we
go.
go. There we go.
We
There we
back.
go. So, twins, do you want to ask him any questions before we get into it? This comment, hold on, this commenter is calling your bullshit, Mike. He said he hesitated. Definitely doesn't want a woman with kids, LOL. But we're gonna get into that in a second before you respond. Twins, any questions for Mike? Any comments on Mike's clip?
Right now, my first question is, since the interview you had, how has your DMs been? How?
Twin. If you go on the show, man, your DMs are crazy the day after, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then actually, even subsequently after that, they trickle in because she does like highlights and people watch it on Facebook at work during the week. So I mean, it was a lot. It's easily overwhelming for sure.
I'm gonna hold the question until
Mm-hmm.
I got more, but go ahead.
All right.
Okay. So, because these motherfuckers said you hesitated. Is that right? Do you actually not want a woman with kids, but you thought it was politically correct to say you're okay with a woman with kids?
Hell no, I don't do politically correct. No, I meant what I said, right? So if you don't have kids, there's certain things you just don't understand, right? And I don't want, number one, I don't want to be the one to teach you all that shit, and then I don't want my kids to be the ones that you actually learning how to parent the first time. We're not doing that. So no, I hope they have kids, and if not, ain't none coming out over here.
Okay, so let's think about it. Does it matter how many kids? Do you have a limit on how many kids they can have?
Hell yeah.
What's the limit?
Ooh, it would be hypocritical. I was gonna say hypercritical. It would be hypocritical for me to say anything less than 4 because I have 4.
Woo.
But that's a try. That's a
Twisted, huh?
That's a fucking try.
Yeah, you got you a starting 5 and 2 reserve.
And 2 reserve.
Yeah, that's too much.
I don't want to put a number on it. If she that bad and she got 12 kids, we may have to make it work.
You lied. You lied. I'm sorry. You can't.
Scenario have to be really right. She well off.
She got to be that bad.
She has to be that bad and well off, because if she got that many
come with some money,
that could be possible drama.
That's what that bad means. That bad means she look good and she got whatever she needs. Yeah. No, I would say realistically, probably 4 is a lot, but yeah, 3 max, 3, 4 max.
No, for real. No, I don't believe you. I feel like 2 sounds better.
No, 2. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. 1 or 2 sounds better. That would be preference, right? But if she got 4 and we vibe, I couldn't. Yeah.
Okay. How many children's fathers? Because I don't like that term, baby dad. So how many children's fathers would those potential 4 kids come with?
Oof.
That's it right there.
That's it right there.
Right
there. It's really about the relationship she has with him. It's really about, it's like for me, after I got divorced, I worked my ass off to really build solid relationships, right, with my ex-mothers. So I wouldn't bring somebody into drama, right? So I don't do no drama. everybody got different situations. If it's 4, which is a lot. Hopefully no more than 2. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully no more than 2.
Okay, so conceited motherfucker, I don't have his comment up, but he's saying that's more important. The number of kids is not as important as the number of fathers that come with those kids. So I think it would be one man, 4 kids, and she was a wife. Because as we saw from your clip, you prefer a woman like yourself who's been married, who's been divorced, who has children. Like you said, there's certain nuances. And twins and I have both been married, have kids, so we completely understand the nuances when you have children. Mine's an adult now. She's 22, so been there, done that. You guys are still in the thick of it. I'm free. Hallelujah. Praise Lord.
Twin, how many kids you got, twin?
I got 2. One be 12, my daughter, and my son's 10. So if I talk to a lady, she'll have to have either 1 or 2. No more than that.
You want more?
Nope. Don't want no more.
Really?
No.
Interesting. Have you had, I know this is y'all interview, but have you had the experience of dating a younger woman and saying, oh, it's okay, I don't need kids?
Most of them I have talked to or date. Well, I haven't dated yet, but talked to, they have kids, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. I haven't got someone in the early 20s. Not that I'm looking, but if she falls in my lap, she falls in my lap, right? But as of right now, they're all been women who have kids already.
I hope she falls in your lap, twin.
Hey,
I'm done.
I hope she falls all the way in the lap. Look, head first, twin. I hope she falls head first in your lap. I'm just saying.
Hey, no argument there at all, right? Sorry. Hey, let's keep this is how guys talk.
Gosh, you fell in some laps before. Cut it out. Head first before her.
I can neither confirm nor deny what last time. The only person we have on record that I've ever had sex with is my daughter's father. My dad, I'm just saying. On record,
that's a good answer.
The only man I've ever had sex with because we have a child. So that's all y'all know.
That's it.
See, that's what happens when you only have one child and one father, because nobody can prove otherwise. We are going to go to the question that I pinned because people are nosy and you do not need to answer it. Who filed for divorce in your? You did. Oh shit! Now I want the tea. How much? How much can we get?
You want the tea?
We filed for divorce, so
yeah. So we got married so young. So originally she filed and then she changed her mind. So we did ping pong for 4 times, and on that last time I said I'm done.
Hold on, y'all filed for divorce 4 times? Like you filed, she filed, you filed, she filed.
Originally she filed. And again, we got, well, not again, I didn't say this. I got married at 22. I'll be 39 this year, right? We married for 10 years. So originally she filed and she changed her mind. I think it was a pump fake. I don't know. We were kids. And then after the back and forth, I say, yo, I'm done. I'm pushing the paperwork forward. And so, yeah, that's what it was.
And was it just growing apart?
Was it just growing apart? Yeah, I mean, we didn't even know who the heck we was at 22 and 20.
Facts.
So it's like, yeah, it was a lot for me as a young man walking into fatherhood, walking into manhood, walking into husbandhood, all these damn hoods, you know? It's like 3 different sets I'm trying to learn at the same time. And on top of that, we were in this church back in the day that was really controlling, and they kind of played a big influence in our marriage too at the time. So it was a lot, but I take responsibility for my part. Learning how to be a man very early on. So yeah.
Were y'all high school sweethearts?
No, we met college years.
Okay.
Yep. She was from Chicago and I was from Delaware, but we met while I was in Philly. Both were in Philly.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Well, the commenters agreed 22, they said it's very young, crazy young, actually. This person says 22 is crazy young for marriage.
But you know what happened when you get married at 22, or when you get in a significant relationship so young, those are the years where my contemporaries were wilding out, having fun.
Yes. Yep.
Learning themselves, learning what they like, doing a strip club, doing all that shit, right? So then later on, about 30, 32, they're ready to settle down. So it's actually the Benjamin Button for me. It was the reverse. So I got separated at 28, and then our divorce took 2 years. So my wilding out, my college years started at 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my body started at 30. You know, I had 2 historic host seasons. So yeah.
That's true. Because at 22, because I didn't get married till I was 28. So mind you, from 16, whatever, to 20, I was wilding, right? So then when I got to 28, all right, then I was ready to settle though at that time frame. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah. The growing apart mess.
Even 28 can be tough because I got married at 28. My husband was actually a month younger than I was. So we were both 28 when we got married. And I would say my husband was definitely not ready to get married at 28. My husband was also a military man, and just doing the most. I think in his mind, it sounded great, right? I think in his mind, he found a great woman. I was awesome, so let's lock her down by marrying her. But his body was like, I still have some hoeing to do, and I'm still gonna hoe. I love my wife. My wife is great, but I'm still gonna hoe and pray my wife doesn't find out, and then his wife finds out, and we get divorced. Because for my husband, even the divorce, he said, I married you to conceited motherfucker's point till death do us part. My husband made it very difficult for us to get a divorce. He said, you are the only woman I ever wanted to marry. Why would I divorce you to go see you go marry someone else? But his body still was hoeing.
Right.
He was hoeing, but he really wanted the ideal of me as his wife. So I would not recommend men or women get married. Sounds awful. But getting married in your 20s, unless you truly know yourself and you've gotten that hoeing, for the lack of a better word, out of your system and is ready to do this forever life with someone. Because marriage is no game.
It's different when it comes to men and women. See, men, we can wait later to get married. So I'll recommend men wait till they get in their 40s to get married. My personal opinion. Women, y'all ladies, y'all have a timetable, right? You have to get married young because fertility, all that stuff going on when you have babies, it's more high risk as older you get, right?
Yep.
And honestly, it's for men, it's beneficial because at 40 years old, you're more mature in your career, you're more knowledgeable, you probably got the whole out the system by then, and you know exactly what you want and you know how to navigate through that versus being 28 and learning how you go, or versus being 22 trying to figure it out. At 40, perfect time.
I agree. I tell my kids, I'm going to tell my kids once they get older, to really take your time and even start them on the process of learning who they are earlier.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So right now, when I'm working with my kids, I'm like, well, what do you want to do? What to make you happy? Have them start thinking about that now at, they teen years versus when you 30, trying to figure out what the hell do I like? Because after you get divorced, like y'all can probably attest to, there's this whole figuring out who the hell you are again. It's like, well, damn, do I like seafood or did I just eat food because she ate seafood? You know what I mean? It's like, what do I like to do? So you got to go through this whole rediscovery phase again.
So we had a question here. How long did you date before marrying your wife?
3 years. But again, you have to put it in the context, which only makes sense in a church setting, right? So in those settings, in a very strict church, that was common, just to date. We ain't fuck. Listen, we ain't even kiss. Our first kiss was at the altar. That's how controlling this small church was. I already know, twin. I already know.
I know. I'm always like,
I don't even know. So in that context, that was the norm back then in us. But outside of that, to me, that's fucking bananas. That's crazy to think about, right? So yeah, we dated 3 years.
So in those 3 years, let's keep it real, did you have sex with other people?
No, I was locked in.
Wow.
So you got to think about it though. So I think a part of my journey was I really got a heart for people. So I think I was just so focused on becoming this other version of myself. And then I was surrounded by a community of folks who all thought the same way. So there were moments where I was tempted, but that wasn't a vibe,
God bless you.
Let me ask you this. So prior to y'all getting married, right, I would assume you weren't a virgin, right?
No,
And was she a virgin?
No,
See, so that right there. Now, if y'all was both virgins, that might have worked out. But because y'all both experienced the world prior to getting each other, that was definitely a disaster waiting to happen.
But I didn't experience the world yet. It was more so I experienced that church, like somebody saying right here, the church culture. Yeah, it's very legalistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, in an unhealthy church, let me preface it with an unhealthy church, because you got healthy churches out there. Shout out to them wherever y'all are. But for unhealthy churches, that shit crazy. It doesn't set you up for success because it's unrealistic. It's like, okay, we abstain. Okay, now you ready to fuck. And you don't even know how to create intimacy. It's just not realistic the way some of these programs are ran.
Right.
You know?
And that's the key you said about intimacy, right? I think a lot of people, they miss that part. They think sex is, I think you both have heard my term, right? Like sex is someone sweating on top of me who doesn't care about me after I come. I know Mike thinks it's a crazy way to put it, but that's it. Intimacy is what I want as a woman. I want a man who craves my body and wants to take care of my body in bed, not just, I have Amazon Prime, right? Like I can get a fake penis in here tomorrow, right? I'll be okay. I can sit on that thing and woo, I'm good to go.
Twin, how you deal with this every week, Twin? How you deal with it?
Man, I was doing this before I even been on the show, so I'm already ready. I've been training.
All right, I'm just adjusting in real time. Give me a minute.
Yes, you are. Yes, you have
I'll
to.
just take another drink. Cheers. Yeah.
Thank you so much, right? But it's true, but it's the intimacy. And so God bless you for waiting 3 years. I hope my daughter meets a man like you when it's time for her.
Not like me now. I'm a savage now, but back then you saying.
Girl, I'm talking about you at 19 to 22 when you were out there waiting and do what you need to do. And you actually, that's a good segue. So tell me what it was like after the divorce and then you were out there, because I wrote down the ages of the children, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You didn't wait long because it was like you have an 8-year-old and it was a 4-year-old now, right? Like 8 and 4. Yep. So you got divorced, you did your thing, but then you ended up with someone else and had another child. I thought you wanted to be free. How did that happen?
Yeah, it was a scary place. You think about it, you go from such a controlled environment in the church and then in your marriage, because I never cheated. I never stepped out, never did nothing, right? I was too rigid. It was just very underdeveloped in my thinking. And not to say that once you're developed, you start cheating, but that wasn't even a possibility, right? So once I got divorced or separated, I remember one time I called my younger sister, she's 3 years younger, and I was on Tinder. And I was like, Carol, so people just be hooking up? She's like, yeah, they just swipe left and swipe. I said, so you connect with somebody and they just come over and y'all fuck? No, this ain't. So that was my reality. Like when I was single, there wasn't no Tinder, right? And so now I'm out here with the wolves looking like a sheep. And it was rough. It took me many, many years to adjust to the speed. But I was so used to having a unit, having a family, that I jumped right back into a rebound relationship to create that. And that's where my baby girl comes from. But even that relationship, we dated for 3 years, right? So it wasn't really, I didn't really experience the world, like Twin said, until after that.
Gotcha. And that's interesting because it's funny. My ex used to say the same thing. Coming out of his marriage, he was like, he felt, and it's his words, but he almost felt like he needed supervision. He was like, I felt I needed structure. Like I went from structure and I'm kind of out in the world, which is not necessarily what I want to do. And now I actually crave structure again because there's a structure that happens when you got a great wife, right? And not all wives are great and not all husbands are great. But when you got a good wife who creates structure in your life and you know you have this routine and you're good with your routine because you know what you're doing every day. You're not out there wildly, like you said. And Tinder isn't, by the way, all about hooking up. I guess it is.
No.
Just so people know, you can still go on Tinder, single people. Just don't
Absolutely. But it was created as a hookup app. But yeah, you can use it for better.
It's a shallow app. And more than anything, Tinder and all these dating apps, it's a shallow world, a shallow app. People want to know about your looks and not your personality. It's social media on a dating site. So,
but it's a good app to transition.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think so. For somebody like me in my position back then, when you haven't had a whole bunch of bodies or experiences, and you trying to learn
In these streets.
You in these streets. I remember one time I was coming home from work and I had a 45-minute train ride. I'm probably saying way too much, and I connected with this girl. I swiped, boop, and we matched, boop, and I'm texting back and forth, and we connected that same day. We were able to. She came over and we talked, and that was it. Yeah, right. Everything okay?
I'm sorry. Ladies, look at this man's face. We know he's fine. Okay, we know he's fine. He got the chest out here in his pleather brown shirt. He looks good. He's got his glasses on. It's all good. But 45 minutes is not enough time to get to know him, to give up your leverage, your vagina. That's all we got. Once we give up, all we can do is stop giving it. But for 45 minutes, though, 45 minutes.
Keep giving it if you want to give it. I mean, it's cheap.
Of course it.
I mean, look, we grown. We grown. If they are in a position, Tosh, where they want to experience, listen, one thing I don't do anymore, y'all are just as sexual as us.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about that, twin.
Let's talk about it. It just ain't us.
Talk about it. Listen, we ain't gonna get up on, but listen, I am a Scorpio. I will own.
Oh my God, you a Scorpio? Oh, shit. You don't even talk at all. Twin, can you mute her mic? She done. She a Scorpio. She got whips and chains and whipped creams and what are we talking about here?
Factual. That is actual factual. I will not deny that I am spinning it, rubbing it upside down. Like, my men are very happy. However, I think the issue that I have is you've been on Kendra twice. You watch Kendra G. What happens is those same women who are flinging it, rub it down for you after 45 minutes, go on Kendra G and say, there are no good men out here. There are no good men. And I ended up in a toxic relationship. And they do all of that. Why? Because they were giving you vagina, hoping that would lead to a relationship. We know it. No, the woman isn't. We don't have sex with men we don't like. Let's just be clear. And we do not have sex with men we do not want to keep us. Do not.
I don't know about that one.
No, it is. I'm telling you, as a woman, we have sex with men that we want to keep us in some way, right? Even if it's for a short period of time. Most of us are not having sex willy-nilly.
Right.
It may not be permanent, but in some way we want to be kept by you. For a lot of us, it is permanent, whether that's a long-term relationship or marriage, right? We are not just willy-nilly having sex with men that we're like, oh, this was great, I'm out of here, right? So the reality is we use our vagina thinking that that's a bargaining chip, and then when it doesn't work, we end up on shows like Rest in Peace Kevin Samuels and Kendra G talking about men are no good, and y'all like, but we told you that this was what it was going to be. But as women, we use that thinking it's a tool. And so, ladies, look at this man's face. Again, we know he's fine, but you can wait a lot more than 45 minutes. Jesus Christ.
45, 46, it doesn't matter. But I think it's all about the season of life you're in, Tosh. If they are easily. Look, I said easily because I read that. If they're recently out of a relationship and they just want to have fun, it is what it is. But to your point, I will agree. A lot of women will use sex as a bargaining chip for a relationship, and they will miss the intent that man has. And if he's a man of any substance, he'll tell you what it is and what it's not. Right? So,
listen, I respect it. Go ahead, twins.
No, I was just going to say, when you said when women have sex with men for a certain reason, right? I just want to tell the audience who's listening in the back, that's the food guy. There's the movie guy. This guy's gonna pay the bill guy.
Talk about it, Twin.
Those are the categories those guys fit in. She may
Oh,
not
no,
want them for
don't
long
run
term.
down, Taj. You got the fix it guy. Don't forget the fix it guy.
Oh yeah, fix it guy too. Right, forgot about him.
You got the nails guy.
The road guy. You know what I'm saying?
The nails guy.
My nails done guy. Get the nails guy. My toes.
My car broke down guy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got a lot of motherfuckers that you can call for shit.
Plumber guy. Mm-hmm. The house guy who fix everything in the house.
And then you got this is the biggest one. The motherfucking best friend, the best friend guy.
The best friend, right?
The best friend.
Yeah, that's the whole
guy that
show.
The guy that they never see. Twin, let me talk to you real quick. Tosh, I'm gonna just let you marinate in this. Twin, have you experienced women who say, yeah, I got a best friend, and they never see that this nigga is really just waiting his turn?
They don't.
They don't see that shit.
They don't see it. I don't understand this. But you know why we see it? Because
we've been him.
We was that guy.
We've been him. The bestie. Exactly. I have historically in the past, way long ago, way long ago, I've been that nigga way long ago who was in some DMs and was like, oh, you got a man? Okay, cool. How's the relationship going? In my discovery phase. And they'll just blurt that shit. And here I am, all in the crevices of your relationship, like a G-string. Exactly. I know more about your relationship than your man do. I know more about your emotions than your man do. What are we talking about? Yeah, do that little hair flick. Exactly.
And
how many best friends?
As long as it take, how long does it take? We will wait our time. We'll wait. And once we get it, then we out. And then you mad at us.
And then you mad. How many best friends you got, Tosh? How many male best friends you got?
0.
You lied.
Technically 1, but he's gay.
Is he bi or
gay friend?
Oh, no, he gay. He gay.
Okay.
Gay.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Listen, I'm gonna let you listen. This is all your show at this point. I'm not even here. I'm just
that one alone. No problems.
Listen, I get it. I understand. When my man is my best friend. It is my girls and my man. I don't pretend to have my male bestie is a gay man, and so he's basically just one of the girls, right? I understand that men do wait their turn. I have definitely had men who have waited their turn. And the moment I got out of a relationship, they were just like, we knew that wasn't going to last. Like, when are you going to give me a shot? I had a friend break up with me the other day. I've never had a friend break up with me. He was like, after this conversation, I don't want to speak to you anymore because here I am trying to get with you. And I watched you have this relationship and your relationship, and I'm here being the good guy, and you don't want to date me, and so I do not want to speak to you anymore. And I was like, are you breaking up with me? We're not even in a relationship.
Now let me ask you this, Taj. Did you see this coming?
The breaking up with me? No.
Did you think he was just a pure friend?
I mean, I know he wanted to be with me. I told him why we couldn't be together.
Why was that? I'm curious.
Yeah, don't really want. Listen,
I want to know.
I only saw him in the friendship role. I was not
friend zone doom.
I was not physically
attracted to him. I was not physically attracted to him.
Okay. All right.
We could be great friends. I thought we were great friends and we had a lot of commonalities. But when it came to, it didn't make my pussy quiver.
Oh, well then, yeah, you can't do nothing about that. If it don't make it jump. Yeah, if it ain't jumping, somebody said they delusional as fuck. Yeah, and it's not her fault. It's just their gender. It's just one of those blind spots that, it's a part of womanhood. And men, we got them too, right? Whatever those are. But I constantly have conversations in the past about these besties that, like, nigga, he's just waiting to hit. Like, what are we talking about?
That's a fact.
And I
a girl now. If she got a male best friend, she's already demoted to my side piece girl. She ain't number 1 no more.
Short-term bucket.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna argue with you or fight with you about your friend that's been there forever. I'm like, okay, if you don't see it, cool. I'm not arguing with you. Next.
And then they say they shit like this. Oh, Kevin's not going anywhere. Okay.
Less.
I've heard that said at least twice.
Mm.
At least twice I've heard that. And I ain't with either of those women. Just FYI. So
Listen, I never knew this. I've never, ladies, this is why you need to have conversations with men in your. I've always known that the male best friend can pose an issue, but again, my man is my best friend. My man is going to be the one who hears, when I'm with you, you hear it all. Whatever's going on at work, at home, whatever, you hear it. And then my best friends, my girl best friends hear it. So I would never want to ever put it in a situation where another man knows more about my relationship than the man that I say that I want to spend my life with. And does that become the issue? To your point, is you think that there is another man knowing intimate details about your relationship?
That's my personal issue with it. One of them, because I'm all about intimacy. So if he is seeing into me, into intimacy, if he's seeing into you more than I can see into you, if he knows how you feel more than I know how you feel, that's when I got a problem with it. And if you're leaning on him as a best friend, you're vulnerable, you're sharing how you, that's too much. It's too much. If the nigga care about you.
I agree.
You know?
Wow. Ladies, listen up. This is why I have this show, and I said that I need men on the show, because as women, we think one thing and y'all men are thinking completely different. At the end of the day, if I had a male best friend, he'd have to go, because my man's coming first. Sorry, bestie. You're not doing the type of plumbing I need you to do in my life, so you got to go. Conceited motherfucker has a good point here, but what about the woman who wants friendship but also asks for boyfriend tasks, fixing stuff, moving things, etc.? I won't lie. I am guilty of that. I am now.
No,
I am guilty.
Surprise.
Hush. But I will own that, not because it's boyfriend tasks. It's just because I'm spoiled. Like, I'm a daddy's girl. I'm spoiled. I just expect that people do things for me. And so I ask. You can always say, no, I don't want to do that for you, bitch. Like, go find your man, right? Like, but if you do it, like, what am I going to say? Please don't help me move my stuff. Like, that's not my fault. That's the other person's fault. They should have said no.
I want to give the ladies a little tidbit. I might be saying too much, but it is what it is. Ladies, every man out there wants that cookie. We'll play a role as long as possible we can. Had this conversation said plenty of times. Men and women cannot be friends. There's not one woman friend that I have that I wouldn't smash. If she texts me anytime of night talking about, hey, can you come over? Vroom, I'll be there in 2 seconds. And you could have been my best friend since day one. It doesn't matter. Men and women are at home and everything. Men and women are not supposed to be friends unless they're married, right? Outside of that, no. So the guy's gonna come over, he's gonna carry this, he's gonna fix that. He waiting for that one opportunity for you to be like, hey, you want to stay? Yes, he will. He been waiting for it. So don't be delusional. We men, we're that's in our, it's embedded into us. We're that way. If you look at the history of men in history, I ain't talking about Bible, but history, men always had more than one woman. Kings had, right, and they had their concubines. I mean, what are we talking about? This is genetically, we are a nature of, we need more than one woman. I'm sorry, it's a fact. I'm not telling lies. Do your history.
I ain't touching that one, but I'm nodding.
Let's get into that one. Let's get into that one. Since I have both of you here, let's get into that one. Can you generally have an honest conversation, or have you ever generally had an honest conversation with a woman and you said, I love you, but I need you to understand that every once in a while I might need another flavor that's not you? Have you ever had that conversation?
That to me or twin?
To both of y'all.
Go ahead, twin.
So yes. Before marriage, no. After marriage, hell yeah.
I can see that.
And what was the response? I'm waiting. Bated breath.
Oh, the response? I mean, see, there's a difference between coming out of marriage and being single. There's a lot of stuff you're not going to compromise now. Now that I'm on the other side of the fence, stuff that I used to simp on when I was pre-marriage, I don't simp no more after being married. I know what comes in between that. So if she don't want to get down with it, no pressure. the next one will. And guess what? The next one will. Just that simple. So either you jump on the train with me or you don't. It's no feelings lost. I'm just in a different place now in my life than I was before I got married. Now, that's why I tell people, when the most dangerous man in the world is a man who's able to survive divorce. Once you survive divorce and make it to the other side, you see the world totally different.
That's fact.
Totally different. And you're like, you know what? I'm not going through the traditional way because the traditional way didn't work out for me. So now I'm going my way.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
I think when you get like Twin said, once you've experienced a traditional relationship, and it didn't work, right? I think most people start thinking like, like for women, I hear a lot from women. Some women are okay if their man cheats. They've reconciled that men cheat. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but I'm just saying. So I think I've had conversations with women who's like, well, if you want to have an occasional thing every once in a blue, okay, cool. It's kind of like old school back in the day when the great-grandparents or grandparents, the father was the breadwinner and he took care of the house. But then on Saturday, I see you in the morning, baby. And, you know, he did what he did. I'm not condoning that, but I think a lot of people are more open to it now because of the culture of dating that we're in, for sure.
For sure.
So would you gentlemen want to experience that with your significant other, or it's something that you want to do on your own?
What you mean, like a threesome or having a side chick?
Like you have a hall pass, say once a year or twice a year to go do your thing, no questions asked. Or do you want to have that conversation so that your woman is open to it? I can tell you, for me as a bisexual woman, these conversations do not bother me. I already want vagina. So you introducing the ideas of us of having vagina, sure, because I was already thinking about it. But I understand that my perspective is not the traditional woman's perspective.
No, yeah.
Like my best friends are not down with it. They're like, what, are you crazy? Like, never gonna happen. And so for me, this conversation is nothing because I'm likely bringing it up. I tell my men, listen, this is what it is. I'm not saying we're doing it all the time, but I need you to be open to the fact that I'm going to crave a woman and I would like us to be open to bringing another woman into our relationship. But I think differently than most women. But for you guys, are you thinking you want to do it with? Because my ex-husband, he was fine before we got married. We had a whole girlfriend. She lived in the house with us, slept in the bed with us. A whole girlfriend. We had a whole girlfriend. When my parts were not working because it was my time of the month, I tagged her ass in, right? Tag. So he was always service, right? And if both of us synced up, then our mouth still worked, right? And he was getting what he needed to get. But funny enough, once we got married, he said he wanted no part of it because I was now his wife, and he just could not see that with his wife. But when I was his fiance, it was fine. So for you gentlemen, like, how would you see that situation if you ever had that situation?
I never had
Go ahead.
Yeah. I never had a girlfriend and a girlfriend. I've had conversations about having a threesomes and all that outside. But no, that's a new one for me. Would I like it? Here's the thing with stuff like that. I think about the kids, right? I think about, could I be in a relationship? Do I want to model having 2 wives or 2 girlfriends to my kids? No, I don't. That's the traditional side of me, right? Do I want to wild out and have fun and get into some debauchery? Sure, absolutely. The more, the better. Is it debauchery or I like the chuck?
Debauchery. I call it debauchery too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would do it on the side as fun if she was with that, but nothing serious and long term.
Twins?
So for me, I'm open to that, right? I mean, you said a lot of good stuff there on that. So I'm kind of saying, well, I wouldn't present it or throw it in my kid's face in a sense, right? But I'm definitely open to that. But if I had a main chick, right, who's the main chick, and she's open for that as well, she'll be the go-getter. I mean, that she'll be the one recruiting the woman, XYZ. I can put that all in her hands, just so there ain't no problems or no miscommunication. She's setting that all up.
You know what's up. You know what's up. I was always the getter of the woman. I am not you. No. In my relationships, I am the one who goes and selects the women. We have a conversation about it. We know what we both like and what we're looking for. But let me tell you, listen, women can say whatever they want, but when an attractive woman comes up to you and says, we both find you attractive, and then you point to your man and your man is also attractive, the giggles that I have started, we bring them over to the table. My man's friends used to be astounded. They're like, your girl has better game than all of us, because it's the way to get to, we both find you attractive, but if you go up, you're creep. Oh, me and my girl were looking at you. So guys, don't ever do that. If you do want to have a situation, have your woman be the one who breaks the ice, invites her over for a drink, all of that stuff. I've had my men bed a lot of women they wouldn't have been able to bed without me.
That's top tier game, yeah. And I think why that works too is because you're very confident, right? So you can't. That's another thing with threesomes and all this extra. You can't go into that. You can't go into that shaky. If somebody's not confident in who they are, or that thing can be. I've heard it can be catastrophic.
It can be. You have to have rules. And I know this was not where we were going, but we going there. You have to have rules. If you're going to have a threesome, there is no threesome that works without rules.
Gotta have rules.
There's a lot of things that people don't think about like people are all about the moment, but they don't think about the impact of the after. And there's a lot of things that happen after. Listen, I remember one threesome I had with my ex, and this woman was fantastic. She was fantastic. I heard him make sounds I have never heard him make, and he heard me make sounds he has never heard me make. And once we were done and we thanked her and sent her home, we had to have a conversation. We had a conversation. I was like, I heard you make some sounds. He said the same. And we talked about what we liked, about what she did, so that we could make sure that we incorporated it into our relationship. And it does take a level of confidence, because hearing your man make sounds and you think you're throwing it down and I'm flipping it around and I'm doing the most and doing enemas and the thing. And then I'm like, oh, but then he said that I was doing the same. So you need to have conversations. One of my rules is you never finish with the next girl. You always have to finish with me. You are also not allowed to kiss her at all. You can do everything else, but the moment you kiss her, we're going to have a problem. So you have to go into it. But I also know myself. I know what is going to trigger me about something, because she's here for a good time, not a long time. Now, if she's here for a long time, then those rules don't matter. If it's someone we know that we're going to have a continual relationship with, the rules don't count. But if it's a woman that I know, might be a couple of times here or there, but she's not sticking around, no, you don't kiss her and you don't finish with her. Those are my two rules. Everything else you can do.
So if y'all have a third party and it's a relationship, can he be intimate with her outside of you?
Yes.
Without talking to you about it?
We would already talk about, see, all of this only works if there is communication. You would have already, before you even go into having the third person, right? Because there's polyamory and what I would consider being a throuple, right? And that's 3 people in a relationship. Yeah. There's still always the core 2, but this person is also having a relationship with you. So before you ever even consider bringing the third person, you have to talk about what you're comfortable with. My ex and I talked about what we would be comfortable with. He wasn't necessarily comfortable with having sex with a woman if I wasn't there, because for him, it was a power thing. He never wanted her to feel like she had too much power in the relationship, because we and I had the power when it came to whether she was there or not. So for him, it was like, no. But for another person, might be like, no, babe, this is what I want. If I go out of town, if something happens and they're alone together, I wouldn't want them both sitting there like, oh, can we? She's not here. Can we? So that conversation needs to happen before you ever decide to do this. You have to have rules.
How did you feel about him not wanting to be with her outside of you? Was that honorable, or was that bitchy?
No, I was fine with it, because at the end of the day, he also needs to be comfortable with this, right? I'm the one who's bisexual. I'm the one who's proposing this. It's good for him. He was like, sure. Like,
winning. Right.
but it was also a me thing. It was something that was more for me. And I was always like, if don't ever feel like you're obligated, but I appreciate you, babe, if you don't want to do it. And that was his thing. But it also depends. We talk about on the show, have the relationship that works for you. Twins is redefining after marriage what a relationship will look like for him moving forward. You had to redefine what a relationship will look like you for. After my divorce, I had to redefine what a relationship with me would look like, right? A relationship for me would look like. And I think about have the relationship that works for you. That's, kind of always my advice to people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, for sure.
And it's not all, it's not all fun and giggles. And just because you have a woman who's bisexual doesn't mean you guys are having threesomes every weekend. But it is
the other weekend. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, they shouldn't.
Maybe once a month.
No, hell no.
Oh, you can't have a threesome once a month. It has to be every other weekend.
If I got two women, I'm gonna be enjoying them more than motherfucking once a month. Are you
That's
crazy?
26 times a year.
I don't care how many times a year. I live one day at a time. So it's gonna be more than once a month. Twin, can you back me up on that?
I agree.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, if I have a third wheel, I mean, and she's our girlfriend, as many times I'm in you, it's the same I'm being her. Like, what we talking about?
When it's a girlfriend situation, but just a regular threesome situation, you guys you would want.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That makes sense.
Isn't necessarily going to be all the time because we got to recruit these women. We got to get to know them.
It's a lot of work.
Yes.
There's some work that goes into it, but when you find that one person, absolutely spin it, rub it down, do what you got to do, right? I don't care. But the threesomes, it's a lot for me to recruit. There, I gotta figure her out, see if she's gonna be crazy when she gets the D. Like I've seen women, like when they had sex with my boyfriend and the first time he penetrated her, her face went like lit up. Girl. They were not allowed to have his phone number, nothing. Everything ran through me. We're not playing that game. I know what I get every day. You're borrowing. You're on borrowed time.
That's a real scary thing when you see that motherfucker turn around and look at you like you just tapped my soul.
Uh-huh.
Like I had a stalker because of that. Like I had a stalker and I learned because of that situation. The next time I was in a similar situation, she looked at me. I was like, okay, I'm cutting this motherfucker off after this because I learned from stalker version 1.
It's real talk. So SB saying, so true. This is why I never agreed to a threesome. Admittedly, I'm not mature or strong enough. And that's a real thing. Like it takes a level of maturity. And this is why, I always talk about on the show, it's called Fuck Your Feelings for a reason. And the reason it's called Fuck Your Feelings is you need to be having fuck your feelings discussions before you even get into these relationships. What will work, what will not work. At 44 years old, I am going to create the dynamic of the relationship I want. I am closer to death than I am to birth at this point. So whatever that I feel like I want, that's what I want to get with my man. You're not down with it, cool next, because there will be somebody that is. And I respect when men say that, right? Like you're great for now, but you're not my forever because I can't even open up to you about fantasies, much less talking about reality. Like when fantasy is not even allowed as a discussion, we're done.
That's tough. Because a lot of people don't give themselves something that I didn't do until after my marriage, permission to be free. You got to give yourself permission to be free, right? So if you're not even honest with yourself about what you like, what you want, what you want to try, ain't no way this other motherfucker outside of me, I'm going to communicate some of my deepest desires to you if I'm not even acknowledging them to myself. So I agree. Where y'all getting the stamina for 2 people? Yeah.
SB has a great question. Where are y'all getting the stamina for 2 people at a time? More power to you.
It's a good time, SB. It's a good time. You get out in portions.
Get it in the gym. Get in the gym.
I have meditated, workout, drink water, mind my business. I have more than enough time if need be. Now, I have not had that experience in a very long time because the girl over here is, the shop is closed because I'm not currently in a relationship.
You're right now. You're in a drought.
When this shop opens up, I feel so awful for my future man because it's on like Donkey Kong. Okay, it is 3 sums. There might be 4 sums. I don't know how many sums, but I'm going to be making up for all of this last time that she's been closed.
Now, have a part of your relationship, Tosh, have y'all ever went to a sex party or sex
I've
club?
done sex clubs. Sex clubs are fascinating.
Tell me about it. I've never been.
Okay. Let me leave that. Okay, hold on. I know you only gave me an hour. We got 3 minutes.
We good.
Okay. So I've been to a couple mostly in Toronto. For those of you who don't know, that's where I live. That's where I grew up. So the sex clubs are fascinating. So sex clubs, if you've never been, they're basically just like regular nightclubs, right? Twins, have you been?
Nah, this is new.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm taking a note.
They're just like a regular nightclub. They've got a dance floor. It's a whole thing. But generally, there's an upstairs section that you will then go, and that's where the debauchery happens. Now, depending on the sex clubs, they have certain nights. So there's single nights where a man has to come with a woman. You don't have to be in a relationship, but you have to be invited by a woman. She comes. There's couples nights, and there's all these things, right? Anywho, so the ones that I've been to, I've never partaken in a sexual relationship with another couple, but that's because my ex and I just had our own rules. So I don't do full swaps because I'm not interested in another man, and not at all. So no, thank you. And I feel like it's degrading to my man to have him watch me. No, we're never going to do that. And I've never found the other couples attractive enough. A lot of the clubs that I go to are with the Caucasoids. And so I don't do the Caucasoids. But I have had couples watch us. So we put on a great show, right? So we put on shows and couples will come and they will ask, do you mind us watching? And so, we've done the whole kind of voyeur thing where people have watched us, but I can't say that I have done the swap because I'm just not interested. But if I were to go to a club and I did find that there were Black couples that I was interested in, and the husband did not mind us sampling his wife or girlfriend, that's fine, but I'm just not part of the deal.
Did you say sampling like you at Costco or a Sam's Club?
We don't get to take her home unless you get to take them home, right? Like it all depends on, there are people who broker deals. I've been to parties outside of the club that people invite you to. That's also possible. So it's all about what you're into. I would always suggest if you're going to go with a woman who's secure to be able to do that. Talk about, again, the rules that you have. Are you allowed to play without her? Is she okay with watching? I'm fine with watching. There's nothing, I find it very sexy to watch my man having relations with another woman because I know he's mine and I get to take him home and you just got the sample. So for me, but that's how my, ego is set up. Not a lot of women are cool with that.
Right. Interesting. Twin, would you go to one of these sex clubs? Would you be interested in watching or participating?
Nah. I've been invited. I almost got tricked and going to one. Didn't know it was a club. I have been invited to a few. Just didn't know what kind of clubs they were.
No.
But I'll probably go to watch, but I wouldn't participate in front of people, strangers. Like, I'm more private. We can recruit a woman, bring her home, and have her fun. But all in the public, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, baby steps. Not saying that anything's possible, right? You know what I'm saying?
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Not me out here wilding at the men saying baby steps.
Listen, because I haven't experienced that, but it's on
his journey. Todd, don't be forcing him into the levels of depth he ain't ready for. He gonna drown, girl.
Right.
I love it. See, look, ladies, this is what happens when you've got men who do committed relationships and all of that. They do exist. They are out here, and I'm apparently the whore.
Wait. I didn't say I was on Twins time. I'm just acknowledging where my brother is on his journey. Because I might be that nigga on a chandelier jumping in some pussy. So don't get it twisted. I'm the one, like, it's time to go. They closed this shit. Hold on. I got a couple more. Team one down there.
30 minutes, please. Yeah, 30 minutes.
Give me 15 more minutes.
Not last call.
Last call for some pussy. Anybody want some? It is interesting though, because I'm a people watcher, right? So I would just and I'm a life learner, so I will be in there in my analytical mind, just like, oh, this is cool. This
You
is
need to have an open mind, and they do, and it is all safe. So they make sure that there are condoms everywhere. So if you are going to do the things, they'll come and strip the beds because there are beds and rooms and all that. So they will strip the beds and stuff after. It's a whole experience. And I would say go even just to watch. I think it's fun. Even if you and your partner aren't willing to do the whole thing, like Twin said, it is something to spice up your sex life. Like, I believe in happily ever after. I would love to live until I'm 80 something and marry someone and say that we have 40 years together. But I am not silly enough to think that my man is going to be satisfied with just me, or at least just seeing me naked forever. So I want him to go out there and see what's there. And sometimes just knowing that your wife or partner is open to it is enough to keep you satisfied.
And I think, to your last point, I think it's being able to be honest and authentic enough to say, look, I have desires. Mm-hmm. I may not want to fulfill these desires, but they are here, right? And having a partner that's like, okay, cool, I understand it. Versus, I know an earlier version of me, I wouldn't be able to stomach that. If my girl came up to me after years of marriage and was like, hey, babe, I'm thinking about adding another partner, or I'd be like, the old version, I'd be like, what? Now, I don't know if I would even, I get it. It probably wouldn't happen. I don't know. I ain't there yet. But I see the wisdom in definitely being authentic. I see the value in authenticity for sure.
And that's what I need in a relationship and want and desire from a relationship. So again, I'm open on the show. So I'm very open with my partner, and I leave room that it's a safe space. Like, I should be a safe space for my man. In the moment I'm no longer a safe space, we have to question whether we need to be in a relationship, right? You should be able to talk to me about every innermost desire you have without judgment from me, and be open to have a conversation and explore it. Because if we're going to do life together, we're really going to do life together. I'm not into being bamboozled. Like, don't pretend that you're one thing and then all of a sudden it's this. Just like, be straight up about it. I tell men I'm bisexual. I like women. Whatever that might mean in the context of the relationship, I need you to know that this is not a competition. This isn't that I'm going to go cheat on you, but you need to understand that I have desires that every once in a while I may need fulfilled. Are you cool with that? What does this look like? You're not? Okay, then maybe this thing may not work, because I'm be honest with you, it might be every 5 years, but I mean, big scratch.
How has men responded to that in the past?
Some have been like, yippee-yah, and think that it's like a free will, and it means that we're just going to be chopping down every woman that is. Some have rejected it, and I'm just not for them, and I respect it. Like, that's not for them. They don't feel like that makes me a traditional woman, and I own that. Like, that's fine. And then others, like my ex, we really discussed it. He talked about it. He asked me questions about it. He didn't assume anything. He wanted to know about me and what's done in the past, what's ideal for me. So we really talked it through. So it depends on the man.
Yeah. Twin, would you be open to a bisexual woman in a serious relationship versus like a weekend?
Question.
I mean, hell yeah. I mean, I actually have been with a biracial.
They got them all fucked up. Here, y'all talking. Yeah, I've been with
I've been with one. I just never been able to partake into the funness. You understand what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
She didn't invite you to the party?
Well, while we were dating, she was only talking to men at that time, right?
Okay.
So she was, but when I was with her, I'm strictly for men now. But then, you understand? So I haven't had somebody that was
keep that same bi energy.
Yes.
That's interesting to me.
Exactly.
Like, to me, that's a woman who's bi-curious. Like, I always say, my desire for women doesn't get turned off. It is not a tap that I say just because I'm with a man, I'm going to turn off this tap. The tap is still there and it's running. I mean, I have been with women independent of men. I've had relationships with women. These were my girlfriends. I went out with them, kissed them in public, hold their hands. We were in a full-fledged relationship, right? I can tell you it's very difficult as a bisexual woman to be in a relationship with a woman.
Why?
Both of my girlfriends were lesbians. One, interestingly enough, had always been a lesbian. Played ball in school, did the whole thing, always been a lesbian. My other girlfriend, my most recent one in my 30s, she was married for a number of years. And yes, had children, grew up, funny enough, in the Mormon church as a Black woman. I didn't even know Black people were Mormons. She was married and then she came out and the marriage ended, whatever, right? And both of them, because I was bisexual, they had insecurities every time I was around a man.
Opposite sex, yeah.
Right. And so for me, it was like, well, I'm with you. And it was very, I won't say it was very difficult to have that, because for them, it was like, you could always go on the other side. I'm like, that's true. That's the reality. But I'm with you and I'm here with you. I'm holding hands with you. I'm very presently with you. So I would say, God bless men. I don't know how you deal with us, because I can't deal with us. So that's a bisexual woman. So that's been fine. Like for me, like if my man wants to be down with it, we're going to be down. It's just a matter of, are we finding someone that's attractive to the both of us, right? Is there somebody who's also going to respect our relationship? Like there's all these things that we're going to talk about, but it's not turned off. No, like right. I'm with you. I still want to lick and be licked.
So when you think about your forever person, is it a man or a woman?
My ideal situation is both. If we could plan out Toshiba's ideal situation and fuck them kids. I know y'all talking about, I don't care about the kids. My kid's 22. Fuck these kids, right? Like I no longer have to live for what my child is. She's grown. Fuck them kids. So my ideal situation would be to have both. My ideal situation would be to be married to a man, but we have a woman who is with us and lives with us, because 3 incomes are definitely better than 2 and better than 1. That would be my ideal situation. If I don't get that, I'm clearly going to marry a man and we are going to partake in sexual activities with other women. But if I could have my way, I would have all 3 of us in the house together.
Oh, in the house together. Wow. Okay.
Shit, 3 incomes is better than 1.
That's
this inflation time we're in. Come on now.
Yeah. Interesting.
We'd live under the same roof with the children's and the whole thing. My daughter is very aware of my sexuality. She knows. Yeah, she was very supportive when I came out to my mom, who cried, because we're very religious. I come from a religious background. I'm Jamaican. I grew up in the church. My mother cried, and my daughter was like, "She's not dying. She doesn't have cancer. Like, can we stop?" Right. Like, she's fine. She's
like, lick some pussy once in a while.
She's like, what is happening? She's not dying. So my daughter is well aware, and so I've never exposed her to that. She knew I had a girlfriend. Like, we did family stuff together. But my daughter is, she's one of them very liberal kids, so it's whatever.
Yeah. So what's up?
But for now, you guys have young kids, so I understand. Like, I wasn't exposing my daughter to that when she was 7 and 8 and so forth, right? Like she didn't understand that dynamic. But at 22, where I'm now free to live my life, this second half of my life, yeah, definitely down for that. Mm-hmm. What about you guys? Because I know I'm taking up your time. He got his shirt up, so I'm sure he's going out after this. But what about you guys? What would be ideal?
I put the shirt on for the show.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Oh shit. Okay.
Don't start no shimmy.
Well, for me, it will be the wife. This wife. Now, if the wife wants a girlfriend and we can make that 3 income work, fine. But right now, for me, just a wife.
Yeah, I think I'm traditional at core. I would definitely want a wife, but honestly, at this point in my life, being open to fun on the side together, right? I couldn't see me in a whole throuple, but I could definitely see me with a membership somewhere with a consistent playtime on the weekends or something where we enjoy, as long as we're both confident in what we got, very communicative on what we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably going to be my situation. Again, ideal it'd be the 3 of us, but most men are not. As much as you think this whole polyamorous thing, and people are like, no, the polyamorous thing is a man having 2 women. right? And separate lives and separate homes. It's not them all integrated and grind. That's a whole different dynamic than just, having different women all around. So yeah, mine will probably be with my husband, and we will be a card carrying member of several several clubs. Let's just say that.
Yeah. How do you find these clubs?
They're on Google.
Really?
Yeah, it's a whole nother world. It's out there.
Wow.
Yeah, just search it. But
there are groups. There's groups on Facebook. There are groups on Facebook that talk about different clubs. There's the popular one out there in Atlanta where Twins is. I know there's a couple of ones in Houston. Those types of places are popping. Again, make sure that you get your STD test and everything checked, and bring those condoms. But yeah, it's on and popping with Black people, like attractive, well-to-do Black folks, like corporate folks, CEOs. Yeah, doing the damn thing.
Wow.
People, their marriage is happy and their situation's happy. Like, people, like, again, social media will fake us out, but people are out there like
living their life.
Yeah, they're living their life. I am not thinking that my vagina is going to be my husband's last and forever. Like, it's either he's going to lie to me about it, and God bless him if he stays, faithful. That's what I want. But he's either going to lie to me about it and say mine's is the greatest and it's going to be forever. Or he's going to tell me the truth and be like, I love yours. But every once in a while, a man has his needs, and I want to talk about it. Want to maybe go see if can do it, but I don't want a man that's going to lie to me.
Do you have those same needs? Do you want a new dick every couple months, year?
I'm not that interested in penis. When I'm with one, I get upset. Twins was day one of the show with my ex, and I was obsessed with my ex. I was obsessed with that man. When I'm with you, I am obsessed with you. It's like I am inhaling you. You are the center of my world, and I do everything for you to make you happy. I don't even see other men because they don't exist. I do see other women, but once I'm with a man, because I'm very selective, right? I'm very selective about who I'm going to bring into my life. And so once we have selected each other, for me, it's about you and your needs and your wants, but we also are going to have to tap into my desires, and my desire is for another woman, not for other men. And I don't, I wouldn't date men that their penis trash. So I'm not, if I'm with you, it's you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man. So I don't desire. So I don't deal with men whose penis trash. Sorry, I don't want the devil peeing. I don't want those that have women walking around like everything this man does is God and he's the Messiah, but I want some good peeing. Because I also don't, because imagine that I have terrible peeing that I am shipping out to other women.
Yes, that's
right. Nobody wants that. So I now have bad peeing, and I'm going to go recruit other women to have bad peeing. They're going to talk about us in the streets. I can't have that.
That's not good business.
It's not good business, right? I want the peeing where women are coming back like, hey girl, when can we meet up next? That's the peeing you want, where can we meet up next? And they're just volunteering. Oh, I got this. You want to come hang out? I don't want peeing that people are like, her man's peeing is trash. How does she? He clearly got money because
it ain't the D. It's the deposit, not the D.
Right? So we got all over with the show, but getting back to you, Mike, thank you for being such a good sport. I'm going to go back to what they called you, a well-spoken and groomed Pookie. What do you think about that comment as we wrap up?
It's the Pookie part for me. I don't know.
Yay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what throws me. Well-spoken and whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's the 4 kids and the 2 women. According to some of the comments, you created broken homes.
I know.
And all you wanted to do was go and find another woman, even though you said you didn't want any more children, as you call them. They felt you were going off to start a new life with another woman and potentially create another broken home.
I feel like Drake right now when Kendra just announced he got an 11-year-old hidden somewhere. You know, it's like, People on it. I read all the comments, not all. I read comments, and it was literally hilarious. Like I love it, right? Because if you're in a space in your life where you know who you are, you know who you're not, right? Yeah, that was funny. You know who you are, you know who you're not. I mean, it's just comical. It's people on the internet. But at the end of the day, I think everybody to some degree is looking for love, looking for support.
Yes.
Right. And life is messy. So
yes.
if you get married at a young age, my story, try your best, put this thing together, it didn't work, and then you jump out and then you get into another relationship and then that didn't work and then you work on yourself. I don't care about no damn ass comment on the internet. It's just it's really what it is. It's looking for compatibility and companionship.
I love that. I love that.
And just to defend them,
come on, twin.
Because she did foul first, regardless who did it last.
And you know what, twin?
She kicked it off. I'm just saying.
I would have stayed. Unfortunately, I would have stayed and not have been happy. But I wouldn't have, at that state, that version of me, I probably would not have broken the family up. But honestly, my kids are better for it. You know what I'm saying? They see a healthier dad. They see a healthier mom. What is that?
That's what happens. Thing.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. So hey,
what it is.
I saw some comment. I just laughed at him. Saying, yeah, whatever. At the end of the day, the Kevin Samuels is still right. 70 or 80% of the time, women still foul. Mine's foul too. So therefore, hey, it wasn't me.
We do foul. I mean, I foul, but I foul for a reason. I mean, mine's had babies on me, but that's another story for another day. Still out there slinging peen, but I digress. But we do foul. We do.
Oh, that's where the community peen thing comes from. That's why it's such a strong. Okay, got it. Makes sense now. It's all.
My husband was definitely community peen, and God bless him and all of the women who saluted his peen. But we digress. Your experience quickly after you had all them people in your DMs. What was your experience like?
I tell people, because a lot of people reach out to me who either on the show or thinking about it, contemplating it. It is truly a one-in-a-lifetime experience. I mean, she's created a platform and experience that I think people should, confident people, caveat, confident people should consider, right? Because you got people all over the world literally reaching out to you, people in Sweden and Africa and Cuba and I mean, you name it. People, moms and grandmoms reaching out. Grandma reaching out. I got my baby. I want my baby to be.
Okay, matchmaker.
Yeah. Well, and some grandmas like, yo, I want some of that young D. So, I mean, whatever season of life you in, you can get it. But it was cool. It was cool. What's so interesting? The first time I went on the show, I was talking to a girl. It was casual, summertime type of vibe. She was at home, I was at home, and she said, yeah, I'm watching Kendra G. I didn't know anything about Kendra G. I thought she said Kendrick Lamar on YouTube. I said, oh, Kendrick got a show or is he doing something on YouTube? No, she said Kendra G. I said, what is that? So I went on and they were just so dry and boring. I joked with her and I thought somebody said beautiful lips, but beautiful people. Okay. Hey, I joked. I say I'm gonna go on and spice it up. And she was like, "Yeah, you should do it." That lets you know what type of relationship we had.
Right.
Right. It's just fun. Keep it lighthearted. If you do consider to go on, keep it lighthearted. Don't take nothing, to heart. Have fun with it. It's a fun experience. But they're gonna eat your ass up in the comments. And if you're not used to being ate up, don't even I was replying like this one girl. She said, it was such a good comment. She ate my ass up too. She said, oh man, I'm gonna try to think of it, but she ate me up in the comments to the point where I LOL'd after. I said that was actually a good one. So people gonna have fun with it. It's the internet. It is what it is.
Well, let me ask the real question because she's asking a soft question. How many days? How many people you knocked down since the show?
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I'm not going to answer that because that would be degrading to the women. And, I'm not going to answer that.
You know what? Good answer, sir. Good answer. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Nah, but you know what? Honestly, if you got swag, that show just elevates it. If you don't have swag, like my kids say, Riz, that's the new thing.
Oh, I heard that. I'm like, what this terms? And I gotta look shit up. I'm like, damn,
I had to look it up. I'm like, Riz?
We all.
Damn, you ain't got no Riz? I'm like, okay. You don't even know the word is charisma. They just took the Riz out. But anyway.
They do that.
So it was a good twin. If you ain't been on, I recommend you at least try it. Tosh, I think you should just try it. So what? Have fun.
I'm fantastic over here.
See, women are hesitant for whatever reason. Women are hesitant to get on. Why is that?
No, thank you.
Tell me why. I'm literally curious.
No, thank you.
Their ego.
Listen. I've thought about it. I think I present well. I think I would answer the questions. I have my list. If she asks me all the questions, I've got it. I'm not sure if her audience is where I would find my somebody. Let me just say this.
You would be surprised at the people that don't comment, right? People like you who wouldn't go on. A lot of people watch her show. They do. In millions. It's all across the globe at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's the people who just follow you and don't say nothing. It's the people in the background, but I'm just saying. I have contemplated it. I have the answer to all of the questions if she were to ask me. I have thought about it. I have definitely thought about it as an option should I ever need it. I don't currently. Yeah, I'm good. Mm-mm.
I mean, at least do it for the exposure.
I mean, that's what other people have said to me. Do it for the exposure. It will be good for the show. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I think one of my issues became with her show? It was when one of the guests said that people were going to their LinkedIn, right? Like, I take my business very seriously. So there was a past guest that came on and she came back and said people got her LinkedIn shut down. And like, it just, when it became, if you want to play games on Instagram, whatever, say whatever comments, but the moment you go, like, to me, LinkedIn is the jugular. Like, that's my business. That's my professional reputation. And I think I heard that one time and I was like, nah. And the funny thing is, I think the men would like me. I think the women would hate me. And it's the women who do the petty shit. It's the women. Yeah. I know. It's the man. I had one guy, I don't remember his name or nothing, but he was hating big time. And I was almost this close to responding. I ain't even gonna give him the decency of a response. But yeah, it is. But that's for you. He's gonna hate because he's not you. For the women, when you go on as a well-spoken, poised, and like I've seen the comments that they have for the well-spoken, beautiful, poised women versus the women. There was a woman who came on and she was pregnant, and she got better comments than some women who were well-spoken and poised and so forth. Oh, the mistakes happen and all of these different things. And I was like, but she's on baby number 7. Wow. It's not a mistake. This is a choice. And then a woman comes on who's well-spoken, in shape, beautiful, and they go off on her. Like, who does she think she is? And blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, the women, the cousins, the Kendra cousins, the females one, I don't have time for none of them be going to my LinkedIn and trying to mess up my professional reputation. So yeah, I'm good.
Makes sense. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, that's an anomaly though. I would say that's an anomaly unless you have a way to connect you to your LinkedIn. One lady had her phone number on her profile. That was crazy. That was dumb. But they kept calling her and then she put the guy on. Yeah, I'm like, that was just your personal number. But my name is Toshiba, for Christ's sakes. Right? Like, and if you go on my personal Instagram, I link to my books, I link to my name's Toshiba, right? True. Like everything comes up. So it's not, my name's not Donna Karen, right? Like my name is so unique that people would find me. So for me, that's more what I think about. Is it possible? Would I do well on the show? I think I would do well. I think my DMs would definitely blow up. But do that versus maybe the other potential, I don't know if I want to take that risk. No, I get it. Kudos to you. And all of the toes and fingers. Like, I was just saying. Anywho, we appreciate your time. Twins, do you have any final questions? Mr. Pleathershirt here has got to go do his thing. Oh, please.
Man. No. I got everything I needed.
Nice.
Do you have any questions for us, Mike? Do you have any questions for us before you go?
So how long y'all been doing this show?
So I've had the show for 2.5 years, and Twins recently joined me as my guest co-host for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. But he's been a supporter of this show since I started it back in 2021 with the X.
2021 with the Twin, when did you get divorced? Just curious.
It's still, I'm in the final stage.
Got you. Still going. Okay.
Still going.
Do you think your ex watches the show?
I don't care if she did at this point.
He said, suck my balls. Right. Okay.
Hey, listen. Behind me, my show, The Child Team, I've been doing that since 2018.
Nice.
I've been talking about relationship stuff. So if she was tapping in, she would knew how the relationship was going, but she wasn't tapping in. But that's
really? She never watched your show?
That's a whole nother topic.
Oh man,
we'll be all day for this one. So yeah, so she might be watching now, trying to see what's going on, because I blocked off everything else. But that's the only thing she's gonna see now is my YouTube and the podcast. But that's it.
So she never reached out to you talking about why you with my man?
Nah.
No, I would be the wrong one to reach out to. I don't play them games with people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, a woman called me, told me she had slept with my husband. And when she asked me if I had anything to say, I said, I have nothing. Thank you for the information. I'm going to call my husband. She went, oh, because she did not expect me to say that. I don't know. I don't play them games. I don't get into petty arguments with women over. No,
that's mature of you.
I don't have time for that. I got other things to do.
Facts. No, this was fun. I appreciate y'all for the time. Twin, nice man.
I appreciate you so much. I honestly thank you for taking this time with us. You are definitely not a well-spoken and educated Pookie. You are just a well-spoken, grown Black man.
I'm not Pookie. I can't be Pookie.
Listen, I didn't even understand what the whole Pookie term was, because we don't really use that in Canada, and we definitely don't use it in Jamaica. So I heard this thing. I always thought Pookies were like guys on the block that like sold like nickel dime of weeds or what. See, I don't even understand. And they had a whole bunch of babies and they didn't care and they drank malt liquor. Like, I thought that was a Pookie. But apparently you can be a Pookie and be educated because you have multiple children by multiple women.
Since you said Jamaica, can we get a wine to just end the show? I mean, that's the best way to end it. Since
that's what you get. You get a vote. You don't get a full wine. People, you
got another carnival for that.
Come to Caravana weekend. Everybody, I invite you to Toronto for Caravana weekend. We can do a whole fuck your feelings thing, and you see all the wines and all the skimpy outfits and all the bumpy cheeks out the door.
It's gonna be a thing. I'm coming for sure.
I invited Mike to come to Caravana weekend, so you might see.
You gotta go Caravana. Yes,
I got to.
Come on, twins. We're all gonna do it. Caravana weekend. Let's do the thing. Let's make it happen. Then y'all, if you guys want to see beautiful women from all across the world, come the end of July, beginning of August to Toronto for Carnival Caravana weekend. The best time you will have. Let me know. Hit me up. I'll make sure you have a good time. Then you can see the one. You know what? I'll put it on YouTube.
Consider it done.
I'll put it on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you are liking, subscribing. Do you want to shout out any ventures you got going on, Mike? Let the people know where they can find you, what you're doing, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Mike_speaks2 on IG. I got some things popping. Just check me out. You can see the links over there, and the book is coming too. So that's it.
Oh, you know, I know a thing or two about books.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Twins, any final words?
No final words. It's Fall Twins Inc. You see what's going on my page, like in the bio.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are done. Have a good night. Have a great Sunday. Peace out. Bye.
Later.